now. Okay. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today's Minitab webinar. Topic is Minitab 20 control chart. I'm now Sulawati. I'm the technical support specialist at Visit System. Visit System is an independent local representation for Minitab product and training in Malaysia, Singapore and Batam, Indonesia. Okay, before we get started, there are a few housekeeping items to take note. If you have questions during presentation, please type them into the question box in your control panel. You may send any time throughout the presentation, but I will address them during Q&A session at the end of our webinar. Kindly ensure that you have connected to the audio via computer speakers. Please fill out our survey before you exit the tab. This survey will help us to improve the quality of our upcoming webinar. For your information, this webinar will be recorded and therefore it will be set as listen-only mode to avoid interruption to the audio recording. The recording will be accessible anytime later on our website www.visit.com or by subscribing to our YouTube channel Minitab Malaysia and Singapore. Okay, Minitab was developed in 1972, means that we almost 50 years in the market. Okay, we are powerful statistical software. Everyone can use, whether you are statistician or non-statistician, maybe you are data sciences or non-data sciences. Okay, we can do the predict, you can visualize, you can analyze your data. Okay, maybe it's to solve your problem and eliminate the mistake before they happen. With the new version of Minitab 20, now you can from anywhere on the cloud. Okay. Maybe if let's say you want to know about more what's new in Minitab 20, last 2 weeks we already conducted our webinar for what's new in Minitab 20. If you're interested to know more about Minitab 20, you may go visit to our YouTube channel, Minitab Malaysia and Singapore, to see our webinar recording. Okay, Minitab basically offer various type of analysis, which is for example, you are coming from quality base, maybe you are familiar with the measurement system analysis, is a gauge, R&R, is a linearity, what is we assess our accuracy and precision. And then today we focus on the control chart, but with a limited time, so we just play around with the 2 example for control chart. But maybe I give it the tips or tip the features inside the control chart in Minitab. And then after we also have capability, which is you want to compare your process with your specification. Okay. And then we also have, let's say you are reliability and engineering, we are distribution analysis, we have probability analysis if you want to calculate the MTFEs and everything about the reliability. We have tools inside for reliability engineering. We also, if let's say you are coming from R&D, research and development, is maybe familiar with the design of experiment. Okay, inside the design of experiment, we have features like mean plot, your Pareto chart, and then maybe you will want to know about the power and sample size. It's not limited to the factor design. Also, we are already, let's say, starting with the Minitab 80, we already have a screening, okay, part before you go for the factorial. Maybe you have a lot of the factor, okay, you screen first and then you can go for the factorial design. We also cover for business analytics, and then for information for new updating, most new updating for version currently most related with the big data. Okay, so inside that one we have a correlation. We enhance for correlation. We also have predictive analytics. for example, for classification regression tree. And then we also have, let's say, if coming from machine learning is unsupervised method, we also have a multivariate principal component analysis. And then maybe your data is in term time based, so maybe you can go for the forecasting time series. We have a model up to ARIMA model. And then if let's say do the process validation, also capable for Minitab to do it, because we have a process design. We also have features for process qualification, and then we also have a continuous process validation. Bye. Okay, so this one is our customer already using Minitab. Our software is not limited for manufacturing part. We also have customer from various, let's say from services, for academician and so on. Okay. And then our agenda today is about the control chart. We starting with the basic theory first. Okay, what is control chart? When to use control chart? How to create control chart using the Minitab? And then maybe some other features available for control chart in Minitab. And then hopefully it will help you maximize the features of the control chart in our software. Okay. So business use statistical process control, or we call it SPC, to keep process stable, consistent, and predictable to ensure the quality of product and services. Let's say you are joining our last 2 months webinar about the Xbar-R, maybe this one is continuity after your data, your process data is reliable, your measurement data is reliable, so you can go for the control chart. Okay, the common tools inside the SPC is a control chart. Okay, control chart are simple but very powerful tools that can help you determine whether a process in control or out of control. So let's say simple because it's not complicated calculation inside there. Okay, so that's why we say that it's a simple maybe, but it's a very powerful. Okay, so control chart is a graph that plot your process data in time order sequence. Okay, so from the control chart you can understand the trend over time of variance occurring in the process. Basically, the short briefing is in control chart we have a three line, which is we have a upper control limit UCL, and then we have a center line, and then we have a lower control limit. So which is all this line it is formed from our process itself. Okay, it's formed from our process itself. This one is we call it upper control limit, center line, and then lower control limit. And then for your information, in Minitab, we have a trigger part with the color code. If let's say you see that this one is a blood red, okay, red color here, which is this one, this sample is out of control, which is this process is out of control. If let's say you see that the blue dot here, this one is consider that the process in control. So we have trigger out with the color code, which is red, is out of control, and then the blue color is the in control. Okay, so from the control chart, basically you can separate whether this variation is a common causes variation or species causes variation. So sometimes this one is the more informal way, we call it common causes variation, special causes variation. Okay, so we go explore what is a common causes, what is a special causes variation. Okay, so common causes is the nature of expected variation in our process. It's a nature. Let's say we want to do the baking a cake. Okay, we need to combine all the ingredients like flour, egg, milk, oil, and then from there we already have a common cause variation. Okay, so common cause variation actually in area between lower and upper control limit. So inside this line, so we consider that is a common cause variation. Okay, this is where your process is expected to perform unless a change occurs. And then for the special causes is unexpected variation that result from unusual occurrence. Okay, so basically the special cause is an unexpected variation region, area beyond the control limit, and then something like have a non-random pattern inside the expected variation region. This variety should be investigated and often an action on that kind of the special causes. So from control chart, we can know common cause or special cause variation. Okay, so because this one is help you to take action on the process without over controlling. So that's why we need to know is it is a common cause or special cause of variation. Okay. So normally we use control chart to demonstrate whether our process is stable and consistent over the time, or to verify is stable before you perform a capability analysis. Okay, this capability is another topic, maybe in the webinar we cover for the capability analysis. And then to assess the effectiveness of a process change, maybe you have something like uh, some setting for your measurement part. So you can use the control chart to see whether have an impact or not impact. Okay, and then to communicate the performance of your process during a specific period of time. So sometimes we the top management ask, is it the process, is it okay, is it stable? Also meaning that maybe you can show the evidence based on the control chart. Okay. So as we know, many type of control chart we have. Okay, before we create the control chart, we needed to know two things. Okay, because this one is it help you to decide which control chart you need to do. Okay, first one is what type of your data. Maybe your data is continuous, refer to the measurement, let's say your length, your diameter, the temperature or so on is about the measurement. Okay, and then if let's say your data is attribute, is something like counts the number of defect or number of defective. Inside the attribute, we have two terms, defective, defect per unit. Defective meaning that you have something like pass fail, okay, go no go is something that one is you can count the number of defective item. Uh, Meanwhile, for the defect per unit, your each item can have more than one defect. So means maybe you have a list of the defect, and then you take how many count the number of defect across all the item, and then determine the rate of occurrence. So different type of data have different type of control chart. Okay, so this one is the first thing. Second part is about the subgroup. Okay, subgroup size, or we sometimes we call it that one is a rational subgroup. Okay, so subgroup means that group of a unit that are created under the same set of condition. Let's say you are already setting every 2 hours you need to take 5 sample, meaning that now your subgroup size you 5 observation. So meaning that your subgroup size you 5. So we have a two factor, maybe consider two factor. First thing, type your data, and then how many subgroup before we go to choose what the best thing for your problem. Okay, so this one is we have a continuous, and then we have subgroup. So if let's say your subgroup size more than one, you need go, if let's say less than 9, so we suggest you using Xbar chart. Xbar is a mean, R is a range. Okay, and then if let's say your subgroup size more than 9, so you can go for the Xbar S chart. Xbar is a mean, S is a standard deviation. If let's say your subgroup size only one, let's say batches observation only one time, so you can go for the IMR check, individual moving range check. And then if let's say your data is attribute data. What are you counting is, let's say, maybe defective. So you can go for P or NP check. Or defect, you can go for the C or U check. So this one is maybe go for the constant or varying number of sub size. Okay, so this one is how you want to choose the best control check for your process data. Okay, so this one is type of control check inside the Minitab. So I think I go to Minitab. Okay, so to see this one. So you can get the Minitab inside the Stat menu button. So you go for the Stat, you go for the control check. So if let's say you see here, we have variables for subcode. For example, you go for the Xbar-R chart, Xbar-S chart, and then we have between within. Okay, we have a Xbar-R chart. For the individual, we have a IMR or we have a ZMR. And then for the attribute, we have a P chart, we have a NP chart, U chart, C chart. And then we have, let's say for moving average, UMA or QSUM. We have a multivariate chart. Let's say you are T chart, generalized or multivariate EWMA, or you have a array chart like say G or T chart. So this one is not more to advanced part. But today we just cover for the variable chart for subgroup Xbar-R, and then maybe go for the attribute control check. So if let's say you want to know further, maybe we suggest you join our training, okay, whether in-house training or public training, to get know what, how, when to use the G, for example, G chart or T chart. Okay, so we not only have a basic control chart, we already have advanced, let's say, QSUM or multivariate chart. So nowadays, go for the QSUM most of the stuff. Okay, so this one is how you get the mini control chart inside the Minitab. Go to Stat, go to Control Chart, and then you choose whether it's subgroup or individual. Okay, go back to our this one. Okay, so this one is something like tests for the special causes of variation. Maybe if let's say you already join others training part, or you already research about the control chart, maybe you have heard about the Nelson rules. So this one is the special cause is for the Nelson's rule. Okay, this rule may help you to identify the special cause of variation in our process data. In Minitab, let's say you interest to use all this one, we have 8 special cause you can activate. I will show after this how to activate for the all testing for the special causes. Okay, some of row of the special causes. This one is most of our using for the standard one is 1 point more than 3 sigma from the center line, which is let's say you are beyond the upper or beyond the lower limit. Okay, or let's say you are 6 point in one row only, okay, one siding only, all increase or all decrease is something wrong. Okay, and then we have a 9 point in a row on the same side. Okay, also is something you need to go for the special cause of variation. Or we have a 14.5 point in a row, alternate up and down. Okay, so this one is why we needed the Minitab, because Minitab we already have this function to detecting for the special cause of variation. Okay, so this one, if let's say if 2 out of 3 point, okay, then 2 sigma, okay, from the center line. So you consider that is a special causes variation. Okay, so go for the 50 point in a row. Okay, so also consider the special. So they also for out of 5 point more than 1 sigma from the center line in the same side, also for the special causes. So if let's say you want to further more know about this one, maybe you can go to visit to our blog. Okay, they have a discussion about these roles. we call it the Nelson's roles. Okay. After that, I will show how you to activate if let's say you interest to know about these roles. Okay. So we go for this example. Maybe a quality engineer at automotive part can monitor the line of camshaft. Okay, the engineer measure 5 from each machine during each shift. So meaning that now is a line. So automatically length is a measurement. So maybe now you're using Xbar-R chart maybe or Xbar-S chart. But now the second part you have 5 observation. Okay, 5 subgroup 5. So now you can using Xbar-R chart. Okay, so first need to know what is your data type. Second part, how many subgroup you have before you go get further for this one. So I go to this data set. Okay, so I have this data set. Okay, so I have 100 data set. So every time they take 5 observation. Okay, maybe this one is will help you to do some to create a column for subgroup size using the features inside the Minitab. Okay, so we call it, this one is a make a pattern. Okay, so choose first, we're using go to subgroup. Okay, subgroup column. So you go for the calculator. So you choose make pattern data. You choose simple set of number. So I go back, go to calculator, go to make pattern data. You choose simple set of numbers. Okay, now you want to go for subgroup. The first value 1, the last value 20. So this one is step 1. Okay, the last one is a 5. Okay, so first value is 1, the last value is 20. Since we know subgroup size have 5, okay, divide by 20, so divide by 20, divide 100, so you can get 20, the last value. And then every subgroup have a 5 observation, so we 5 click OK. So now you create the subgroup. So now subgroup size you have 5. Okay. So I will do go to calculator, make a pattern, send a simple set of the numbers. So you choose the subgroup and then you click. So you get the subgroup here, subgroup column. Okay, you create from the calculator menu button. Okay, and then after that, we need to create the Xbar-R chart. So go to start, go to control chart, go to subgroup, and then you choose Xbar-R chart. Okay, so for information, in Minitab we have a two-way, whether you are insert in one column for all the variable, something like this one, this example, or maybe you have something like this one. Go back to this one. Okay, or you save your data inside the every subgroup, one column, second subgroup, two column, and so on. So we have a two choosing whether you save in one column or you save observation for a subgroup in one row of column. So we have a two type of the observation. So for this case, I just only one column here. So I proceed with the mission 1, do subgroup size, subgroup. If let's say you doesn't have column subgroup size, you just can type it by 5 subgroup and then you click OK. Okay, so now you get the Xbar-R chart. This one is Xbar, this one is R chart. Okay. So from here, you see that this one is a red color here. So meaning that this sample is outside for lower control limit, meaning that now your process is not out of control, it's not stable. Okay. So, and for information, they already mentioned here is this one is a test 1 point more than 3 standard deviation. And then what data, what sample is a fail is a sample 8. So if let's say you want to investigate, you from here, you can go for the next tools. Maybe you can use in the fishbone diagram to do the brainstorm. What happened for this one? Why this sample is out of control? Okay, so this one is by this simple basic default. Okay, so if let's say you want to activate all the Nelson rules setting, so go back to the dialog box, go back to dialog box, and then you choose Xbar-R option. Okay, Xbar-R option, and then you choose test here. Okay, so here is what I show in our uh, PowerPoint. Okay, so here is explanation. 1 point more than K. So the default setting for Minitab just only 1 point out of a control limit. Okay, whether it's beyond lower or upper control limit. So if let's say you want to perform all these for special causes, you can go further perform all this one and then click OK and then click OK. Okay, but this one is you need to get further investigate, further research, further study when to use all this testing. Okay, but in Minitab we available if let's say you want to checking the special causes of variation. For example, here is let's say you see that we have a SIG. Okay, SIG means that test SIG. What's mean by test SIG is 4 out 5 point more than 1 standard deviation from the center line. Okay, and then the test fail at the sample 12, 30, 19, and 20. So they mention inside the control limit. Okay, so this one is the how to activate the test special cause of variation. So maybe this one is a differences if let's say you're using the Excel basis. Okay, so we go for another portion here. Maybe we have you again. Okay, so this one, this is critical part. Okay, how to get the first group. Okay, how to get the first group. Okay, so for the first subgroup here, okay, this one is if let's say you see that we have a weeding between. So in the weeding, so this one is the sample of the weeding. So we refer to the X bar. Okay, this one is the X bar average for subgroup 1. So you need to get the mean, get average for subgroup 1. So you can get the X bar. So here is X bar 1. So it's let's say you see that for the center line here with notation is X bar bar, meaning that you can get the X bar 1 up to X bar 20 and then you average them and then you can get the X bar bar. Okay, so this one is first group. Second also the same. You all this one for the second group get the average and then you can get the X bar 2 and so on. Okay, this one is for the S bar chart. For the R chart, so we calculate the range between the subgroup 1. Okay, so R is a maximum minus minimum. So from the subgroup 1, okay, you choose the maximum number minus with the minimum number. So you can get 2.1, 2.5. So you can get the first sample for the R here. So you see that for the center line, the notation is X bar, R bar. So meaning that this one is R1, R2, and so on. You can get the R bar. So this one is how we get for X bar and then R chart. Okay. So this one is already explained. Okay, so this one is some features maybe you can get from the Minitab. So let's say now we go back to this one. Okay, get back this first one. Okay, you see that this one is the out of control. Okay, this portion. So maybe you want to do something improvement and then you remove, or you want to remove first, remove in term calculation. Okay, but remove in turn the actual part. Maybe you need to investigate by the brainstorm or whatever. Those you want to need to know with. Okay, so you want to go, for example, you already improve for this part, so you need to omit for this portion, for this sample. So we have a kind of the features inside the control chart. Okay, so go back to the dialog box, go to Xbar-R option. Okay, so this one is I just pick a default one. Only is let's say default, click OK. And then if let's say you go on to omit, you want to exclude this portion. Okay, you want to exclude this portion. Go to this one, go to Xbar-R chart. You go to the sorry. So you go for the estimate. You choose omit the following subgroup when estimate the, for example, 3. Okay, so for this one, or you can use the following subgroup when estimate parameter. So we have two options, whether you can omit or you can use it. Okay, for this case, I just press omit and then I choose here, example 8. Okay, and then click OK. They click OK. Okay, so you can see that they here in this control chart, they mention subgroup omitted from the calculation is a sample 8. Okay, so this one, okay, this one is not mentioned. Is it omit or not omit? Okay, so if let's say you see this one, okay, already change it. Okay, because they not calculate the 1%. This one, you can see that UCL, the first calculate all the sample. This one, you omit this version. Okay, so you can see that the X bar, the center line, the upper control limit, the lower control limit, now is a changing. Okay, so because you already omit from the calculation. So never mind, you can see that with the output side, so subgroup omitted from the calculation. Okay. Because this one is used caution when omitted value, ensure that you understand any special cause or variation before eliminate data from an analysis. Okay, so is one is the first features in the Minitab, you can do it. Another one, you want control your control chart. Okay, you want to fix the center line, or you can fix with the control limit. You can perform with these features. We call it parameter, meaning that you already have historical data. Okay, you already have your mean, you already have your standard deviation. So you just want to play your process with your mean and then with the standard deviation from the historical data. So you can go back to this one. Okay, go back to this one, this portion. Just select, okay, and then this portion, I want to exclude this one. Go back to this one, go for the parameter. For example, I have historical mean, 600.7, 1.34. Click OK. Then click OK. Okay, so now you get the historical, or you get the new. This one is compared with this one. Okay, the first. Okay, this one is the first we using mean and standard deviation from the process data, and then here we using mean and standard deviation from the historical data. So you can manipulate of them, whether you want to using historical data or you want to using the process estimation for mean and the standard deviation to calculate the control limit and lower control limit. Center line. Okay, all this one inside the, go to dialog box again inside the Xbar-R option. Maybe this one is help you to get the same historical data for all your process. Maybe you want to compare first, and then you can go for the actual part. Okay, go for the parameter. The next thing for the control chart, you can, this one is updating, not the 420, it's from the 819, I think. 80, I think. When you your data change, you can update any control chart or graph without recreating the graph. So which is Minitab trigger up, you have another or you changing your data set, so they pop up the result. Do not use current data. You want to update this result, or you want to create new result. For example, I will show this version. Go back to this one. Okay. Okay, go back to this one. So for example, you choose it, you choose here 0, 5, 5. So you can see that in this one, they pop up the update this result or create a new result. So if something happen into your column, okay, you will do it, something change it. So for example, you want to update this result, you just click update the result. So you get the new data, okay, the new control chart. If let's say you want to create, they remain with the old one, you just create the new chart. So you can get the new one. Okay, so this one is maybe it help you. Okay, if let's say you do something typing inside the column. Okay, so this will help you. Okay, I think there's features inside the control chart. You may use it in Minitab. Okay, we go for another example. We have an attribute control chart. A quality engineer assess whether the process used to manufacture light bulb is in control. The engineer tests 500 light bulb each hour for the 3 8-hour shift, and they record the number of bulb that did not light. So we consider that is a defective. Okay, so I go to the data set. Okay, go to back to this one, defective. Just this one. Okay, meaning that now your sample size is 500. So if let's say you 5 and then this one is a defective, so you can go for the P or NP check. Okay, P or NP check. So I go to this one. Same step, go to stat, go to control chart. You see that this one is attribute chart. So you can choose the NP chart. Okay, so I will do, go to stat, go to control chart, go to attribute chart, you choose NP. So you choose the defective. Your subgroup size, okay, your subgroup size is 500. Okay, and then you click OK. So okay, you can get the NP chart. Okay, so for information, this one is out of control limit. So we consider that this chart is out of control. Okay, so what sample is out of control? So it's a sample 60. So maybe you can go further, find out with the brainstorm tools, let's say with the fishbone diagram. Okay, so this one is how NP chart. Okay, so I go back to stat, go for control chart, go for the attribute, you choose NP chart. Okay, so defective with 100, so we click OK. So you get this chart, or you can manipulate same as the variables control chart. Go to this one and then you choose NP chart option, and then you choose the task. Maybe you want to choose all the perform the special course, then click OK, and then click OK. Okay, so you can get same dialog box with the variables control chart. Okay, go to stat, go to control chart, which is a weather subgroup, or you choose the attribute chart. If let's say you want to do something editing or features inside the control chart, you go for chart option. Okay, you can go for the chart option. So whether you want to using the historical data, you can go for the parameter. If let's say you want to omit your data side, so you can go for the estimate, or you have a limit, okay, display limit between upper and lower. Okay, and then if let's say you want to check the special causes based on the Nelson rules, so you can go for the test data set. Or maybe you want to do something like you want have a before and after. Okay, before and after, so you can go for the stages. And then you want to display, or you want to not display, and then you can go for the storage. And then beside that also you can do the customization. Okay, you just right click, okay, double click on that graph, and then you want to maybe you want to add, okay, add gray line. Okay, maybe gray line. Click okay. So you have something like that one. So you can go further at reference lines, maybe Y 20. Okay, and then click OK. So you can get all this one. Then click OK. So you can get this one. So by the click, same go for the variables chart. Okay, so variable chart also for this one. You can get right click. Okay, right click, add reference line, maybe 605, and click OK. So you can get this one. Click OK. Okay, so this one is a two-way. First method, how to create the control check. We already also have something. Okay, assistant. Okay, so assistant menu, we have a pick appropriate statistical tools, step-by-step guidance. This one is help you. And then this one is ensure your success, do it the analysis. Okay, you can run your analysis quickly and easily, and then you can interpret your result with confidence, because inside the assistant menu, we provide the summary report, variation report, and report card. And then maybe you can share your finding with the one click. You can share to Word, you can share to PowerPoint, share with your teams. Okay, so we go to show how to do it. Go back to this one. Okay, descriptions. So how? Go to assistant. Okay, go to assistant, and then you choose control chart. Okay, this one is a trigger part for you. Is let's say you are first timer, so is it valuable for you? If let's say you are expert, maybe cannot remember all the things, so you can go for the assistant. So here, what I show before this, the data type continuous attribute. You not consider, you not confident what is a continuous, you can go click for the continuous. They give it the explanation about the continuous, and then they give it you example of the continuous data, example for the attribute data. Okay, for this case, we have the measurement, so it's continuous. So what many is the subgroup size? So you can go for the subgroup size. So this one is do not collect in subgroup size, page 1, page 2. Or this one is a subgroup size. They give it to you. And then for this case, we have a subgroup size. So subgroup size, this one is a 8. This one is a greater than 8. Okay, so this one go for the Xbar-R check. Okay, so our subgroup in one column only. So mission some constant subgroup. Okay, we just put 5. Okay, so this one is they ask you want to determine the center line control limit. Okay, whether it's estimate or you want to do it the historical data. So just estimate and then click OK. So now you get this version from the assistant. First, they give it you, sorry. give it you the summary report. Okay, and then this portion is critical part. Is our customer love this kind of the result. Okay, this is it the process mean is stable. So they give it you color code here is a yes. Okay, explanation, and then here is a no. So no since what this happened. Okay, so the process mean may not be stable. Okay, subgroup is out of control. And keep in mind that you're missing 0.7 out of control subgroup by change even the process is stable. So this one subgroup HR, and then this portion also may help you. Okay, this one is a pattern because we want to know about the spatial cost variation. Okay, so the pattern inside there. What is a pattern? You can see and compare with the pattern inside here. Okay, and then also we have report card here. Okay, the variation, maybe amount of your data, and then you have alternative suggestion to you. Okay, is it okay or not, we proceed with the Xbar-R. So maybe is it something like go for another type of control chart. Okay, so this one is a differences between assistant menu and step menu. Okay, sorry. So this one is a differences. Okay, which one is this differences between step menu and then this one is step menu, sorry, this one is from the assistant. So both all this one just right click, okay, maybe send to PowerPoint, maybe send to words. Okay, so you can send directly to word or send to PowerPoint. Okay, for example here I just send it to the our PowerPoint here, so you can get this one by one click. Okay, from here. Also same for the assistant, you can customize. Okay, for example here. Okay, for example here. So prepare by. So if let's say you have others report, want to add something, comment here. So you allow to do it. And then clear. Okay. So you already done for your report. Okay. So or this one or this one. Okay. So I think this one. Sorry. Okay, already done for assistant. And then here is our summary. Okay. Stable and in control process is prerequisite for further analysis such as capability or predictive analysis. If your process is stable, you can predict your future performance and improve your capability. However, a process data not necessarily mean it is capable. Okay, so meaning that this portion is first step. Okay, whether your process is stable or not stable, in control or not control. If let's say it's not control, you cannot go for capability. Okay, you need make sure your process in control first, and then you can go for the capability because it's not reliable. And then this portion is assumption part for the capability analysis. Okay, but maybe trigger part, maybe you do the control chart, but you see have another problem coming. Maybe it's coming from your MSE. So you need go for the measurement system analysis first. Your data is reliable, and then you can collect your data, you go for the process control chart. Okay, your process in control, so you can go for the capability analysis. Okay, so any question? So if let's say you have a question, you can type in the chat box. Okay, in the chat box. If let's say you have a question. Okay, well, I will share with you guys, and but you need to give your email in this chat box, and then in of our webinar, I will send to you this material. Okay. This one. Any question? Yes, you can get this material. Okay. Okay, question from Bin Sincor, why number of rows different? This one is a refer for Nelson. The one is you need go further. What is Nelson for variables? What is Nelson for attribute? Is something like have a similarity, but in the attribute not we testing for all the Nelson eight rows from the Nelson. We just only have 4 testing for the variables for the attribute. Sorry. Cool. So others question? If let's say doesn't have any question, I just go back to the Minitab first. Okay, before I ended this webinar. Okay, so if let's say you want to do the control chart, you can go for the start menu button, and then you see get control chart, whether you want to choose the subgroup size, okay, subgroup size, bar chart or attribute chart. And then if let's say you want to something eliminate or features inside the control chart, you can go for the Xbar-R chart. Whether you want to using the parameter historical data for mean your standard deviation, or you want to omit something like out of control, okay. And then if let's say you have limited limit for the something the limit bounds, okay. And then if let's say you want to check your all this nested run, but I want to stress here, not all the process needed to do this all testing, okay. Basically we using your based on your standard one, okay, your standard for your company standard, how to evaluate for the special cause operation. Okay, this one is maybe is suggestion to you to using. And then if let's say you want to see the process before and after, maybe you can go for the stages. And then maybe you want to know need to display or want to display something like one, or you want to store storage of your subgroup size, your test value in the inside the column in the worksheet. Okay, and then we have another method. You're using the assistant. Maybe you can go for the assistant menu. You can go for the control chart. Okay, and then from here you can see that what type of control chart is suitable for you. Okay. Okay, another one. I think this one. Okay. So if let's say doesn't have any question, so if let's say you want interest with our product or our training portion, you can go for www.minitab.com or www.visit.com, or you can contact us to sales@visit.com or minitab@visit.com. And then if let's say you want to get some street, some event for our product, or you can go or follow us to media social like Facebook and LinkedIn with the Minitab Malaysia and Singapore. And then if let's say you want to access back our previous webinar, for example, for today, you so please go to our YouTube channel, Minitab Malaysia and Singapore, and then you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and really appreciate if you are fill out our survey in order enhance our webinar session. See you next time with different topic and stay safe.